This Sunday, the lesson is from Mark chapter 6, starting with the 14th verse. And this is a terrible story. I mean, it's not an easy story to think about preaching because it's the story of Herod beheading John the Baptist. But it's an important text that we really need to deal with. Jesus has been out becoming more and more famous, and Herod has heard of him. And some people now have suggested that Jesus is John the Baptist risen from the dead. And then Herod said, how can this be? Because I had him beheaded. And then it's sort of like a flashback, and Mark tells the story of when Herod had a big dinner party with lots of well-placed officials, and he had done something wrong. He had married his brother's wife, Herodias, and John the Baptist had called him out on it. So now Herodias, his wife, is really upset and angry with John the Baptist. So at this dinner party, in Mark it says that Herodias dances. Now in Matthew it says that Herodias' daughter actually dances, and people, they thought her dancing was so fabulous that Herod said to her, whatever you want, I'll give to you. And she went to ask her mother, and her mother, who was very angry at John the Baptist, said, ask for the head of John the Baptist on a platter. And so she comes back and tells Herod what has happened and what her request is, and Herod was very distressed because he didn't want to upset all these officials who he had already made this promise in front of, but he really was very intrigued by John. I mean, he knew John was also well liked by the people, but he didn't want to go back on his word, so he had John beheaded in prison and brought John's head on a platter into the midst of the guests. I think the other thing is to look at the witness of John and what a courageous figure he was, telling the truth even to politicians, even to the powerful king, Herod, who was put in place by the Romans, to really look at what is it like to really speak truth to power. I mean, to really say, to call somebody out even though you're going to probably get in trouble for it. So all sorts of political implications for this text. All the stories about Syria, are so tragic. Children being killed, women being killed. I mean, the price of violence, and does it ever get anywhere? I mean, did this get Herod anywhere to behead John the Baptist? No. I think all of us as individuals come up to choices like that. I mean, maybe not so profound or tragic, but every day we have to make some choices. Will we give in to what seems popular? Will we do what we know to be right? So I think individual people have those kinds of questions confronting them all the time.